r/AskReddit. What supposedly legitimate things do you think are scams? The college textbook business is a ducking racket. It's important to buy a new mathematics book every 2 years to get the latest updates to the Pythagorean theorem. Easy. Diamonds. They have no inherent value, cannot be resold at anything remotely close to face value, and the only reason they are so valuable in our modern culture is because of a nearly 100-year-long extremely savvy ad campaign. I can provide sources if needed. Edit. To my fiancée who just saw this. I'll still buy you pretty diamonds, sweetie. I love you. As a geologist, I never plan on buying my wife a diamond. I feel the same way about gold. However, what's worse is that gold is used as a tool for currency and investment. I think Warren Buffett summed it up best. Gold gets dug out of the ground in Africa, or someplace. Then we melt it down, dig another hole, bury it again and pay people to stand around guarding it. It has no utility. Anyone watching from Mars would be scratching their head. I hate getting to these things late when I have a really good one. Grass. Grass is a ducking scam. You know, the kind in the front yard of 99.9% of homes. Whoever convinced people that they need to have that shut in their yard was a genius. When you put grass in your yard, you are committing to watering that shut every day, trimming it about once a week, and reseeding and fertilizing it a couple times a year. Forever. And it doesn't even look that nice, but for some reason you have to have it. TDLR. Duckgrass. Pink breast cancer awareness retail items, like mugs and stupid shit like that. I read an article about this once in Bazaar or something, hard-hitting journalism at its finest, and it's mostly profit and drive sales for people thinking they're doing good. Unpaid internships. Now I understand that some places actually do teach useful things, but there's just not enough regulation enforcement for many of them to be legitimate. The problem is you don't do it because you learn things. You do it because future employers will believe you learn things. DUI checkpoints. They are labeled DUI checkpoints, but if that's what they were, then any sober driver would be allowed to proceed. Instead they check license, insurance, look around the inside of the car for any plainly visible items that might be illegal. They are really just random fishing checkpoints that allow the police to subject people to scrutiny without any probable cause. Not to mention, where I live the DUI checks are all stationed at exit points off the highway. If they really wanted to be safe, shouldn't it be entrance points? The logic is that the drunk drivers would have the opportunity to simply slip away, turn around. If the checkpoint is at an exit, it's a rumvance that multi-level marketing companies that allow you to start your own business like Amway Quickster. My brother is a constant sucker falling for these awful MLM schemes. He spends hours doing his awful networking crap. He never makes any money. He's lost so much money. Right now he's, I swear to God, involved in a beef jerky MLM scheme. Jerky. Online for-profit colleges. They should be illegal. It's terrible how they take advantage of people's desire to better themselves. And I don't just think they are scams, I know they are. I used to work for a corporation that ran 3 of them. They existed solely to get people to take out federal loans. The actual educational aspect was completely irrelevant. All they did was take advantage of people and government programs. Edit. For the record, I'm not talking about online classes. Lots of reputable institutions offer online classes. I'm talking about for-profit schools, which tend to be mostly online, but often have brick-and-mortar campuses as well. The fact that there are hot single girls nearby and that want to duck. Edit. Of course my top comment is me practically announcing I watch a lot of porn. Thanks, Reddit. To be fair, there are probably a lot. You just won't find any of them through advertisements. Don't ruin my hopes. Sandra was giving me that winky face the entire conversation. We buy gold. Just mail us your gold in this prepaid envelope and we will mail you back a check. Some friends and I got one of those envelopes and filled it with bottle caps, pennies, paper clips, and other bits of metal objects we could find. Mailed it. Received a check for about $1 as well as a letter stating how our address was more or less blacklisted. The check was a nice touch. Here's $1. Now duck off. Apps. Why does Fat Booth need access to GPS position, phone calls, SMS, contacts, etc. I bet so many people don't even look at or question an app's permissions, and just install everything willy-nilly. I personally think in addition to telling you what permissions the app needs, they need to say why it needs it. Facebook started doing this, and apps would just give bullshit reasons like to give you the best social experience or something like that. I know porn is obviously not legit in a lot of ways, but every time I watch one, I'm thinking, how is that position comfortable? No one has sex like this. Porn is like the movie flavor of washu. Yes, it resembles sex in the same way that washu resembles actual real life fighting, but it's amped up for the sake of performance. Put another way, porn is stunt sex, not education. That was a ridiculously good comparison. Or it would be, if many people knew what washu was. Bottled water. Seriously, why the hell do you need to buy bottled water unless you live near a place with a contaminated water supply? Plus that shit costs more than Arizona iced tea. That makes zero sense. You are paying for the convenience of a bottle and the refrigeration of your water. I 100% agreed with this for 23 years. Drove me crazy. I thought my aunt was crazy for buying bottled water. Then I moved to her town. The water is disgusting. It's so hard that certain pipes, like the elbow pipe below the sink, gets corroded through and needs to be replaced every year. Even with a filtration system, the water just isn't palatable. So now I understand it. I still don't buy individual bottles, but the big huge jugs for inside the fridge. Text messaging. It costs them nothing. Bees and other penny auction sites. I mean, can you really get a new iPad for $3? Well, you can, but you probably won't. The problem with these penny auction sites is that most users don't think about how much money they spend without actually buying anything. They just focus on the few times they got lucky and won an expensive product cheaply. It's basically just gambling for stuff. Printer cartridges. They basically give the printer to you, then charge more than plutonium for the ink refills. Was waiting to see this one. Per milliliter, FLOS for those not metrically inclined. Printer ink is one of the most expensive liquids you can buy, next to, oh I dunno, Panda Semen. I swear the whole industry is a complete racket. Things today are meant to be broken so you can buy another. I remember as a kid I had a CD player that worked, for 13 years, until I bought my first MP3. 2 words for you, planned obsolescence. My clean PC. 95% of their customers are over 50 years old, and sadly it makes this company millions. My mom's laptop has seen better days, it's just slow and old and probably 7 to 8 years old. One day I go downstairs and on her laptop I see an order confirmation screen about her paying $90 for a virus scan check program. I asked her about and she kind of panicked and started crying because she thought that she did something wrong. She did do something wrong, but why would she cry about it? She just didn't know what to do, so she figured buying a product would fix it. It was the type of antivirus that you would see if your computer was infected that spams, click here now to fix the problem. Makes me so mad that companies prey on elderly like that. Tipping. I feel the employer should pay the employee, not the customer. Funerals. My uncle killed himself after living a shitty life of unemployment, chronic back pain, which was a main cause of the unemployment, drug use, because of the unemployment caused by the chronic back pain, and being looked down upon by my entire family because he refused to work. After he died, my dad shelled out $7,000 for a dignified funeral for him. Holy shit. No one had ever shown that level of kindness for my uncle, pretty much ever. Why the duck was my dad ready to nonchalantly give him that money in death? If my uncle would have been given that $7,000 when he was still alive, he might have thought someone cared about him enough for him not to hang himself with an extension cord. Burying people is a waste of space, money, time and resources. More importantly, people in the funeral business take egregious advantage of the bereaved. The organ donor system. The surgeon gets paid, the hospital gets paid, everybody gets paid, except for the guy providing the actual organs. A heart transplant costs, what, $50,000, $600,000? I figure my heart is worth at least 10% of that. With all the smart people out there, surely someone could figure out a way to pay organ donors that doesn't encourage illegal activity. Perhaps the money could be held in a special bank account that can only be used for funeral expenses. However they do it, I think paying organ donors would dramatically cut down, or even eliminate, the transplant waiting list. When you buy a 6-inch stick of deodorant that has an inch of deodorant in it, you actually bought an inch of deodorant and got a bonus 6-inch container. You should be happy. Overdraft fees. Why would you allow someone to take more money than they actually have and then charge them $35 because they overdraft $2 just for ducks? Health insurance, anyone you pay and when you get sick they deny your claim.